A massive gas discovery, warships moving in, and three global powers suddenly watching the same stretch of sea. What's really happening in the West Philippine Sea? In the complex waters of the Indo-Pacific, a new chapter has opened in an enduring contest over resources, influence, and national sovereignty. The discovery of a significant natural gas reservoir in the West Philippine Sea has thrust Manila, Washington, and Beijing into view of a fresh flashpoint, one that underscores how energy security and geopolitical competition are increasingly intertwined. At the heart of this story is Malampaya East 1, an undersea gas find lying just kilometers from the Philippines' most important domestic energy field. In recent weeks, Manila's military and Coast Guard have expanded patrols, citing the strategic importance of guarding this energy asset. Allied naval forces, including those of the United States, have appeared with greater regularity in the region's seas, a sign of shifting defense postures and deepening partnerships. But how exactly this situation evolved and what it means for the Philippines and its neighbors is a matter of unfolding fact, rising tension, and careful diplomacy. The Philippines' Malampaya gas field has been the backbone of the nation's domestic energy supply since commercial production began in the early 2000s. It delivers natural gas offshore, which is piped to power plants on Luzon, the country's most populous island. In January 2026, the national government announced the discovery of a new reservoir just east of the original field, named Malampaya East 1. Independent energy analysts describe this find as significant, with the potential to supply hundreds of thousands of households with energy for years and to bolster the Philippines' long-term energy outlook. It comes at a critical time. The older field's production has been declining, and Manila is eager to shore up its energy security. Energy experts say the new discovery could play a central role in the country's domestic energy mix, reducing reliance on imported fuels, stabilizing electricity costs, and supporting industrial growth. Unlike coal or oil, natural gas burns cleaner, making it a bridge fuel in the transition toward renewable energy, a point Philippine officials have underscored in policy statements. In advance of this discovery, Philippine authorities have taken a series of measures to ensure that Malampaya East 1 and the infrastructure that may be built around it remain secure. These steps include stepping up patrols by the Philippine Navy and Coast Guard, deploying offshore vessels, and using aerial surveillance to monitor the area continuously. Inside the Philippines, officials have framed this push as vital domestic security work. Malampaya is not just an installation. It is a lifeline of our energy security, said Colonel Franel Padilla, spokesperson for the Armed Forces of the Philippines. When we protect Malampaya, we are not only defending our territory, we are protecting the nation's power source, economy, and future. This language emphasizes that the mission is not merely military but also economic and social, reflecting concerns that energy resources can underpin national development. While the Philippines leads the direct effort to patrol its waters, the presence of U.S. naval forces across the South China Sea has grown increasingly routine over the past years. Although American defense officials describe these activities as exercises in freedom of navigation and partnership building, observers point out that they also serve as a deterrent against attempts by any claimant to assert control over contested waters or economic resources. The U.S. Navy's regular carrier groups and destroyer patrols have been transiting strategic straits, often in coordination with allied navies. These movements are part of broader Indo-Pacific commitments by the United States, which views the stability of sea lanes and respect for international maritime law as core security interests. In Manila, Filipino military leaders have acknowledged that the near-constant visibility of U.S. naval assets in the region has boosted confidence among Philippine forces. According to one Philippine Navy spokesman, enhanced equipment and joint presence with allied vessels have enabled more capable security operations around the gas find. For President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., the stakes of this development are both immediate and long-term. The Philippines has historically balanced external relationships carefully, seeking economic cooperation while navigating territorial disputes in the South China Sea under Marcos Jr.'s leadership. Manila has sharpened its engagement with the United States and expanded defense ties, including agreements that allow allied forces greater access to Philippine bases. The decision to reinforce patrols around Malampaya East 1 reflects a broader strategy to ensure that strategic assets are protected while grounding diplomatic leverage in concrete defense preparations. In Manila's view, demonstrating resolve in securing energy resources signals that the Philippines is not passive in the face of contested claims. China continues to assert wide territorial claims in the South China Sea, maintaining that its so-called nine-dash line encompasses most of the waters where Manila's EEZ lies. These claims have been rejected by an international tribunal under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, but Beijing has persisted in its positions and maritime patrols. Official statements from Beijing in recent weeks have not specifically addressed Malampaya East 1, but Chinese Coast Guard and naval operations around other disputed reefs and shoals have increased. Chinese authorities consistently emphasize that they will protect what they describe as their historic rights in the South China Sea, language that Philippine and Western officials view as a challenge to freedom of navigation and resource sovereignty. Under the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, coastal states have exclusive rights to explore and exploit natural resources within their 200-mile EEZ. Manila points to this legal framework to justify its security patrols and energy development plans. The 2016 arbitration ruling also affirmed that China's expansive claims lack a legal basis under the convention, a decision that Beijing rejects. International legal scholars note that the Malampaya East 1 discovery and the ensuing security emphasis illustrate how maritime law intersects with geopolitics. When valuable energy resources are at stake, states tend to reinforce claims with both diplomatic and military measures. Inside the Philippines, energy independence and security have become rallying issues. Urban consumers, industrial leaders, and policymakers alike are watching how the government manages this new discovery and the broader regional tensions that accompany it. Discussions around energy pricing, foreign investment, and long-term supply stability are gaining prominence in public discourse. At the same time, critics argue that Manila must balance security priorities with economic diversification and environmental responsibility, particularly as climate goals remain an international focus. Even as patrols continue and diplomatic channels remain active, the situation around Malampaya East 1 is far from resolved. Energy analysts caution that translating a natural gas find into productive output will take years of investment, regulatory oversight, and infrastructure development. Defense strategists, meanwhile, contemplate how allied partnerships, including at sea and through shared surveillance platforms, can evolve to protect shared interests without escalating tensions unnecessarily. For the Philippines, the central narrative remains anchored in national sovereignty, guarding a critical energy asset that could reshape its energy landscape, even as larger powers navigate competing claims in one of the world's most strategically significant maritime theaters. What started as an energy announcement has quickly become a focal point of regional security discussions. The interplay between Manila's enhanced patrols, U.S. naval operations, and competing claims in the South China Sea underscores the complex reality of 21st century geopolitics, one where resources, law, and alliances converge on an underwater reservoir that could power millions of lives and redefine strategic partnerships in Southeast Asia.